This is the OTB Network.
Hello and welcome to this week's edition of Horses and Courses. I'm Jean Wood. We're going to begin our look at the weekend stakes racing action at Monmouth Park, a pair of 3-year-old filly stakes heading back to last Saturday in the running of the Serena's Song at 1 mile and 70 yards for $60,000. Let's head to New Jersey in the Serena's Song.
They're racing in the Serena's Song. Exchanging Fire, Precious Princess, and Add Rhythm out for the front. Officer in Pursuit close up, and Lady Marlborough will be fifth early and a little bit wide into that first turn. Bianco is down on the inside, leading Wine Diva and Ethan's Car with 7 furlongs to go. Exchanging Fire gets clear in front by 1 1/4 lengths. Precious Princess, Add Rhythm to the outside. Officer in Pursuit fourth outside of Bianco, who's 3 lengths off the lead and down on the inside. Then Lady Marlborough, Wine Diva's got 5 to make up and 2.5 clear of Ethan's Car. 22 seconds flat was the first quarter as they move up the backstretch. Exchanging Fire in front by 1.5 lengths. Add Rhythm second. Officer in Pursuit now goes up on the outside. At the rail, it's Precious Princess in fourth. And Lady Marlborough, followed by Bianco and Wine Diva, and 2 back to Ethan's Car. The pace is very fast, 45 1/2. Exchanging Fire heads into the far turn with 1.5 lengths lead over Add Rhythm. Officer in Pursuit third by 2. Lady Marlborough's under a ride. So's Wine Diva. Ethan's Car beginning to unwind her run. She's 7 off the lead. Bianco and Precious Princess. Exchanging Fire has run 3/4 in 1:09 2 and is still going strong with a furlong to go. Opening up 4 lengths here from Add Rhythm and Officer in Pursuit. Lady Marlborough and Ethan's Car trying to get going late, but Exchanging Fire passes the 70-yard pole well clear and takes the Serena's Song wire to wire. Tight for second, Lady Marlborough or Ethan's Car, then Add Rhythm.
Exchanging Fire and Eddie King picking up the victory, 2 3/4 lengths the better of Ethan's Car, who went off at 17 to 1 despite having finished third last time out against similar company. She had her nose down on the wire in front of Lady Marlborough to complete the order of the top 3 as the favorite in the field of 8. Exchanging Fire, a dark bay or brown daughter of Exchange Rate from Shooting Fire by Caveat, was bred in Florida by Acclaimed Racing Stable and is owned by Kenwood Racing Limited. Trained by Stephen Mick and ridden to victory by Eddie King Jr., Exchanging Fire covers the 1 mile in 70 and 1:40 and 1. We're going to head right back to New Jersey now and Sunday's running of the Post Deb for 3-year-old filly sprinters. Let's head back down to Monmouth and the Post Deb.
They're all in line. They're racing in the Post Deb. And La Traviata springs out of the gate along with See the Joy, and these two will go out to the early lead. Opening up 2 lengths from Susie Smart, who came out running in third. Change Up is fourth up the backstretch, and Des Moines is the trailer. 7 lengths off the lead as they enter the far turn. And it's See the Joy. La Traviata 3/4 length behind. Susie Smart sent through a tight spot at the rail. These 3 ran 1/4 in 21 1. Change Up has been passed by Des Moines, who begins to move up on the far outside. Coming to the quarter pole, it is See the Joy, Susie Smart, La Traviata moving 3 wide. Des Moines is right behind them, and Change Up trails as they come down the stretch. La Traviata has taken the lead at the 8th pole. See the Joy is back into second. Des Moines did not go on. Susie Smart is now third, and then Change Up, who's getting third late, but La Traviata streaks away down the stretch to win the Post Deb by 6 lengths over See the Joy and Change Up.
La Traviata now 2 for 2, a very exciting 3-year-old sprinting filly, a daughter of Johannesburg. In fact, I believe perhaps the most expensive offspring of Johannesburg yet to sell at auction, $1.1 million. She broke her maiden by, I believe, 11-plus lengths down at Churchill Downs earlier this season in very impressive fashion here. Little bit green after breaking alertly. She did prompt the pace and ran off very nicely to win by 5 lengths over See the Joy and change up in the top to finish up the top two. But La Traviata clearly head and shoulders above this field and looks like a very exciting filly for very strong connections. A daughter of Johannesburg from Piedras Negras by Unbridled, was bred in California by John W. Antonelli and Marcia Antonelli, owned by Michael Tabor and Mrs. John Magner and Derek Smith. Ridden to victory by Julianne Leperoux for trainer Pat Biancone. La Traviata covers the 5.5 furlongs in 101 and 4. We're going to head next to Delaware Park. The Stanton Stakes on Saturday afternoon for 3-year-olds on the grass. Let's head down to Delaware in the Stanton.
Last up, Dinner and Odom. And they're off. Batman walking toward the outside, away well. Disco Indy is there with Diamond Fever as they come off that chute. Rather leisurely tempo, it appears. And Disco Indy's going to try to control things, and slowing things down nicely is Disco Indy. Between horses, moving up, that's Rebel Yeller. Diamond Fever trying to settle in third with Wake Up toward the inside. Wheels Up front is in that 4th spot as they make their way to the turn. That's Wheels Up at noon as they race into the first turn. On the front end, Disco Indy by a length. Rebel Yellow right there in second. 3 lengths to Wake Up at noon toward the inside of Diamond Fever. Then a gap of 3 lengths to Fat Man Walking. Return the money with the rail end. The trailer is Dinner at Odom. Opening quarter in a rather leisurely 25 seconds, and down the backstretch on the front end, Disco Indy leads it by 3/4 of a length. On the outside, Rebel Yeller in second. It's 2.5 lengths further back to Wake Up at noon toward the inside of Diamond Fever. 11.5 to Fat Man Walking with the rail. Return the money. The trailer is Dinner and Odom as they approach the half-mile marker, opening half in 48 and 2. They quicken things up there, that quarter just a bit, with Disco Indy on the front end still by 3 parts over Rebel Yeller. Favorite Diamond Fever moves up on the outside of Wake Up at noon. Then 11.5 further back to Dinner Odom trying to kick it in, followed by Fat Man Walking, and Return the Money is the trailer as they make their way around the bend. It's still Disco Indy and Rebel Yeller head to head. 11.5 to Wake Up at noon on the inside of Diamond Fever, who's trying to mount a rally. 3 lengths further back to Dinner and Odom as they head for home with Rebel Yeller. On the inside, Disco Indy. Diamond Fever has clear sailing on the outside, and Carabao asking that one for more. Diamond Fever now to the front. Wake Up at noon angles out, is trying to run that one down. Dinner and Odom racing third. It's Diamond Fever in front. Now Wake Up at noon rallies toward the inside, followed by Dinner and Odom on the outside. Diamond Fever. Wake Up at noon on the inside. Diamond Fever will prevail. Wake Up at noon getting second. Dinner and Odom third, followed by Return the Money fourth.
Diamond Fever, you may remember him from his run here at Saratoga last summer. He finished second in his career debut to 'Tis Wonderful, a horse that went on to considerable notoriety through the rest of his 2-year-old season. That was Diamond Fever's debut performance, a nice one. Came back over the winter time, never quite lived up to expectations, but is now 3 for 3 on grass. Since trainer Michael Matz has shifted him over to that surface, he has really looked like a very strong 3-year-old. Diamond Fever wins by a half a length from just off the pace over Wheels Up at noon and Dinner in Odom, who rallied very strongly at a huge price. Diamond Fever is a dark bay brown 3-year-old son of Seeking the Gold from Radiant Ring by Halo, bred in Kentucky by Double K Limited and Helen C. Alexander, owned by Helen Alexander, John and Sarah Kelly, trained by Michael Matz, and ridden to victory by Jose Caraballo. Diamond Fever covers the mile and a 16th on the Delaware turf in 142 and 4. We're going to head to Colonial now in a pair of races from Saturday afternoon. First, the Virginia Oaks for 3-year-old fillies at 9 furlongs. Let's head down to New Kent, Virginia, and the Virginia Oaks.
All in line. And they're off in the Virginia Oaks. And as expected, Dreaming of Anna going to flash her early speed and try to clear over. And not only does she clear over, but glides over to the inside to grab it by 2. In second position is Christmas Kid over the first turn run, and Super Slash the Grays bounced away in third position as they move into the turn. Silence Do Good in Between Horses is in fourth. Then on the outside, 3 wide, moving early there is New Edition, and New Edition's up and after in that second flight of horses, taking that third spot. Bunching up now as Dreaming of Anna will slow the pace down to a crawl. Christmas Kid is in the second spot, then in third. Right there between horses is New Edition. Down to the fence is the Gray Super Slash, racing a close fourth of just about 4.5 lengths off the leaders. Bit of Whimsy traveling in 5th position for the backstretch journey with 5 furlongs to go. Silence Do-Good is relatively settled now, a half dozen lengths off the lead, followed up by Lemon Lime, and Chow is next. A break of 3 in the field, back to Snow Cone and Cabbage Key, and another 3 to Ardnaba, and trailing the field is Swing It. About 16, 17 lengths will cover the field. It is a dead even pace for Dreaming of Anna and E.T. Bear. They're well in control of the Oaks so far, leading up a Christmas Kid and Kentis Ormos tracking in second. Now on the outside, New Edition continues to move forward in third, followed by Super Slash Under a Ride in fourth. Here's Bit of Whimsy, who's ridden along there, but got to do a little bit better. It is Bit of Whimsy. Inside there is Silence Do Good, and the far outside trying to unwind too is also on the far outside Lemon Lime. They're into the stretch with about 3/16 to go. Dreaming of Anna, New Edition on the outside. New Edition, Dreaming of Anna slowed it. She's trying to save something. Indeed she did, but time is running out. The wire's coming into Virginia Oaks. Dreaming of Anna, she's digging, trying to hold off. New Edition on the outside. Dreaming of Anna, a stellar ride there by E.T. Baird to win it over New Edition second, and Christmas Kid finished third in 1:47.1.
Dreaming of Anna, last year's 2-year-old champion filly, did have a little proving to do, as she has been a little bit off form this year. She came back on the turf last time out in a minor stakes race in Chicago. Here moved up her game with a front end victory under E.T. Baird, who rode her very, very well on the front end. Never really able to shake completely clear. Always under some level of pressure from the likes of Christmas Kid, who's a pretty nice and proven commodity on turf, with New Edition able to make a rallying move from third to finish second at 25-1. Christmas Kid hanging on well to finish in the third spot. The winner, Dreaming of Anna, a chestnut 3-year-old daughter of Rahi from Just Enough Heart by Broadbrush, was bred in Kentucky by Frank C. Calabrese and is owned by the breeder, trained by Wayne Catalano, and ridden to victory for the first time this time by E.T. Baird. Dreaming of Anna covers the mile and an eighth on the Colonial Turf in 1:47.1. We're going to head right back down to Colonial now in the running of the Grade 2 $1 million Virginia Derby at 1.25 miles.
All in line. And they're off. Oh, that's Duveen. A slow break from the gate. May have hopped in the air just a bit. And a poor break for Duveen, who's just well back of this field early on. So the leader will be Inca King. On the inside is Strike a Deal right up there, the second spot, and Red Giant in between horses. In the meantime, Blazing Dynamo from the inside gate right there. Blazing Dynamo is taken third. Red Giant back in the fourth position, and Top Cross is in fifth. And Soldier's Dancer is next and a couple of lengths back. And Love Dubai, followed by Summer Doldrums. Circular Key, and Duveen is behind Circular Key now at the back of the pack after that tardy start, some 22 lengths off the lead. So Inca King at a reasonable pace as they move around the first turn. Inca King slowing it up under Sean Bridgman. Strike a Deal and Ramon Dominguez in close attendance in second, another two. Blazing Dynamo is third, and Red Giant racing fourth. Soldier's Dancer is at the fence in fifth position, about mid-flight, and Top Cross. Summer Doldrums will really have to kick it in now, some 9 to 10 lengths off the lead, trying to advance on the inside. Another two to Love Dubai. Circular Key just even pace for the far turn, run about 4.5 furlongs to go. And Duveen is the trailer. Another dead even pace up front running Inca King takes him into the far turn with 3.5 furlongs to go, 3/4 of a length from Strike a Deal in the second spot. On the outside here comes Blazing Dynamo in third position. In fourth there is Red Giant in between horses. Soldier's Dancer is asked to run. Summer Doldrums now beginning to pack up only 5 or 6 lengths off the lead. Going to try to come with a 3-wide run. Summer Doldrums now moves into fifth within a half dozen of the leader as they turn for home now. Strike a Deal striking the front. Strike a Deal trying to pour it on. Quickening up though is Red Giant on the outside, is running a huge race. Red Giant on the outside trying to nab Strike a Deal. Strike a Deal needs about another furlong and a half. The outside Red Giant. Caramanos on Red Giant. Red Giant. It's a photo finish coming up. Strike a Deal. Red Giant. Noses up and down. I can't tell. That is either way. Strike a Deal and Red Giant will have to wait for the placing judges on that one. Soldier's Dancer was third and Summer Doldrums in fourth.
Red Giant, a very nice effort from this guy. From tracking position, got up by a nose to get the head down on the wire over Strike a Deal. Looked like that one had the race blown open, but Horacio Caramanos, who picked up this mount at the last minute from who else? Todd Pletcher. Got the victory here with a persevering ride on this late closer in from a Mid-Atlantic Stakes victory last time out, a horse that we have seen run a couple of good races on the turf in New York. In fact, beat his elders in a pretty nice effort here at in New York a couple of races back. Red Giant gets the win over Strike a Deal and Longshot Soldier's Dancer. Red Giant is a 3-year-old son of Giant's Causeway from Beyond the Sun by King Mambo. Bred in Kentucky by Edward Seltzer and Marilyn Seltzer, owned by Peachtree Stable and trained by Todd Pletcher. Ridden to victory by Horacio Caramanos. Red Giant covers the 1.25 miles on the turf at Colonial in 1:59.3. We're going to pause now for a brief message, and when we return, we'll be heading to Arlington for a trio of turf stakes, and then staying in the Midwest at Ellis and heading north of the border to Woodbine. Please stay with us. Welcome back to Horses and Courses. We're going to continue now in Chicago, where on Saturday afternoon they ran a trio of turf stakes races, all in advance of the Arlington Million card. Beginning with the Grade 2 American Derby for 3-year-olds on the grass, we'll head to Arlington for the American Derby.
And they're off for the American Derby. Love and Go going out toward the front from Pleasant Strike. Here's Quasi Cobra up and on the gallop, and the Irish Raider Perfect Casting wants to go too. Tri-leaders as they come past the stands. Love and Go, Quasi Cobra, and Perfect Casting is well placed under the wire. The Arlington Classic winner, Pleasant Strike, is partnered with Lattice, and then 3 more lengths back to 18th of March. Self-Made Man going ballistic at the rail. Sumac has dropped back to 9th. The opening quarter was robust, 23 seconds flat as they turn now, and it's Love and Go who takes the point. Love and Go leans, Quasi Cobra by 2, that same margin. To Perfect Casting, settled there by Pat Smullen. At the rail is Pleasant Strike alongside Lattice. They're joined 4th by 5. 18th of March leads the next body of horses. In front of Going Ballistic, Self-Made Man parallel to that. And Sumac is running 9th and last. Half mile for Love and Go, 47 1/5 seconds. Good turf this at Arlington. And Love and Go being shadowed by Quasi Cobra. Perfect Casting is 3rd. Pleasant Strike stays parked at the paint in 4th. Lattice is 5th. 4 furlongs to go in the 94th American Derby, where Love and Go led soon after the start. Love and Go still in front of Quasi Cobra. Perfect Casting poised to go 3 wide now. Pleasant Strike at the rail. Lattice has 5 lengths to pick up. 18th of March, Going Ballistic, Self-Made Man, and Sumac now getting reminders. 3/4 in 1:11.3. On the far side of the course, Love and Go tackled by Quasi Cobra. The Moigler colors are Perfect Casting 3 deep now at the quarter pole. Lattice ridden with Robbie Alvarado's whip. Pleasant Strike is down inside and back of these leaders, and Perfect Casting has swept up to the front into the straight. Perfect Casting, here's Lattice on the outside. At the rail is Love and Go. Pleasant Strike is in behind horses. 18th of March, Going Ballistic on the stand side. Quasi Cobra, no extra. Racing inside the final 16th, and it's Lattice in front. Lattice on the outside is Going Ballistic, but it's Lattice. Lattice, Robbie Alvarado on a 5-win day, and Belmont has another American Derby, 3 in a row. Lattice from Going Ballistic. 18th of March was 3rd, Pleasant Strike 4th.
Lattice picking up the victory, and a very nice effort by this son of Arch, who had been kind of on the cusp of doing very big things, and here seems to have moved on to the turf with considerable ease, 3/4 of a length the better of Going Ballistic. Another one who has moved on to the turf quite nicely, 18th of March, completes the order of the top three at 56-1, is Pleasant Strike, who had won the race leading into this race here at Chicago, goes off as the favorite and can do no better than fourth. The winner, Lattice, a dark Bayer Brown son of Arch from Lateral by Rahi, was bred in Kentucky by Claiborne Farm and Adele Dill Schneider, owned by the breeders and Seth W. Hancock. Trained by Bill Mott and ridden to victory by Robbie Alvarado. Lattice covers the mile in 3/16 at Arlington in 1:54 and 4. Next up, the Arlington Handicap, 1.25 miles on the turf, grade 3, the local prep for the Arlington Million. Let's head back to Chicago and the Arlington Handicap.
Go! Not away! Go! Not away! Go!
They're off racing in the Arlington Handicap, and that 17-time winner revved up, breaks smooth, and there's the millionaire Go Between, Cosmonaut, the defending champion, and I Believe in Me as they come past the stands. Cosmonaut and I Believe in Me going out to the front from Go Between. Revved Up is at the rail. Great suitor between horses. Lord Carmen, green blue sleeves. Outside that is Merch. Farther back, Meadow Vespers, and Come On Jazz is running 9th and last. They go toward the first turn. Julian Leparoux and Cosmonaut take the field through an opening quarter in 25 and 2. Cosmonaut leads. I Believe in Me staying close. Go Between gallops along in hand third. Revved Up is fourth. Gray Suitor fifth. Lord Carmen is sixth. Merch is seventh in the early going. 8 lengths adrift from those leaders. Cosmonaut and I Believe in Me. The trailing couple remain. Meadow Vespers and Come On Jazz trails. 15 lengths from leader to last. And in front it is Cosmonaut in front of I Believe in Me through a half mile in 49 and 3. Racing up the backstretch. Cosmonaut leads. I Believe in Me, who's second by 6. Go Between is partnered with Revved Up. Still 3 more to Gray Suitor. A length and a half to Lord Carmen. A couple lengths away to Merch. 5 more lengths back to Meadow Vespers. And Come On Jazz still trails with a half mile to go in the 72nd Arlington Handicap. Cosmonaut has made every yard. Still in front of I Believe in Me. Revved Up and Go Between. Both still settled along. 5 lengths adrift of Cosmonaut as they round the far turn. Gray Suitor being driven there by Jeremy Rose. Followed then by Lord Carmen. Merch is being asked to quicken. Meadow Vespers and Come On Jazz still looks on. Cosmonaut and I Believe in Me. They've been 1-2 a quarter to run at Arlington, and Cosmonaut turns them in. Cosmonaut has been this long-time leader. Cosmonaut in front of I Believe in Me. Revved Up with every chance down inside. Go Between is being driven in the final furlong. Gray Suitor at one pace. It's Cosmonaut still finding. Final half furlong. Cosmonaut from Revved Up. Go Between is caught. I Believe in Me. Cosmonaut under a fine ride by Julian Leparoux for Patrick Biancone. Cosmonaut made all in the Arlington Handicap. Revved Up, Go Between, I Believe in Me. Gray Suitor, Lord Carmen, Meadow Vespers, Merch, and Come On Jazz never challenged.
Beaten less than a length in fourth last time out in the Manhattan Handicap, Cosmonaut gets just a little bit of class relief here and picks up a 2 1/4 length front-end victory under Julian Leparoux at the expense of Revved Up, one of my favorite old turf horses who sat a perfect stalking trip but could not quite catch the loose leader. Go Between sitting just off the pace as well to finish in the third spot. The winner, Cosmonaut, a Grayer Roan son of Lemon Drop Kid from Cosmic Fire by Capote, was bred in Kentucky by Patricia Pavlish and is owned by Flying Z Stable, trained by Pat Biancone, and ridden to victory by Julian Leparoux. Cosmonaut covers the 1.25 miles on the turf at Arlington in 2:01 and 1. Next up, the Grade 3 Modesty for fillies and mares, $150,000 on offer here. Let's return to Chicago for the Modesty.
In the gate for the Modesty Handicap. And they're off. Jenny R looked a bobble coming out of there. Jenny R going out to the front nonetheless from defending champion Chic Dancer, Brownie Points, and Rich in Spirit. Bridge game at the rail is Al Monsoon. Farther back, Mabadi, who's partnered with Sogol as they charge past the stands. Larry Sterling Jr. and Jenny R. She is streaking out to the front. Jenny R leads Brownie Points and Chic Dancer. Al Monsoon has settled fourth at the rail. One more to Bridge game, Rich in Spirit. Farther back then is Mabadi, who's partnered with Sogol as they turn now. Jenny R's opening quarter on this good turf. 23 1/5 seconds. Jenny R. at the head of affairs in the Modesty, leading Brownie Points and Al Monsoon with the rails. Chic Dancer and Bridge Game is settled back 8 lengths off the pace, being set by Jenny R. One more. The Rich in Spirit. My Body is one for the back, and Soul Goal now trails 9 lengths from tip to tail, and it's Jenny R in front and through a half in 47 3. Jenny R with Brownie Points and Chic Dancer both close in tow. Al Monsoon stays parked at the paint. Bridge Game is in behind horses, but close up now with a half mile to go in the Modesty. Rich in Spirit is next. My Body is making ground down there at the rail, and Soul Goal is last. 8 lengths adrift of Jenny R. Can Jenny R stay the course going into the far turn? Jenny R being tailed now by Al Monsoon with every chance from there. Brownie Points third, Bridge Game is fourth. My Body at the fence. Chic Dancer has 6 lengths to pick up. Rich in Spirit and Soul Goal has 8 lengths to find. Jenny R leads the Modesty field at the quarter pole. 3/4, 112 flat. Jenny R has made every yard. Jenny R in front in the final furlong and a half. Brownie Points between horses Al Monsoon. My Body is down at the fence, chasing Jenny R in the final furlong at Arlington. Jenny R still in front. Here's Bridge Game delivering a stout challenge to Jenny R, and Bridge Game on past. Jeremy Rose for Graham Motion. Bridge Game, the daughter of Giants Causeway. What a stretch run to take it from Jenny R, Rich in Spirit, Al Monsoon, My Body, Brownie Point, Soul Goal, and Chic Dancer in 1 minute 54 3/5 seconds. Bridge Game in the Modesty, an impressive win that.
Bridge Game and Jeremy Rose picking up an off-the-pace victory, angling out and just getting up in time to win off by a length and a half over Jenny R, with Rich in Spirit, one of my favorite Midwest turf fillies, completing the order of the top 3. The winner, Bridge Game, a dark bay or brown filly, a daughter of, who else? Giants Causeway, whose offspring had a great weekend in stakes company. Out of Baba Light by Majestic Light, bred in Kentucky by Margaret Negrell and owned by Elizabeth Alexander, trained by Graham Motion and ridden to victory by Jeremy Rose. Bridge Game covers the mile in 3/16 in 1:54 3. We're going to head to Ellis Park now in Kentucky and take a look at the running of the Don Bernhard Memorial for older sprinters. Let's head to Kentucky and the Bernhard.
Off and running in the Don Bernhard. Good even start. Spots gone, breaks on top to take a short early lead. Cognac Kisses hustling up the inside now. Off duty, flashing early speed to join the leaders as well with Monkey Hill. Up the backside they go. Monkey Hill off duty. Cognac Kisses on the inside. Spots Gone's racing in fourth. Junior College and up close fifth to the outside. Funky Pirate next by 3 to Small Town Slew, and Greater Good is the trailer already 10 lengths off the pace through a quick and contested first quarter in 22 flat. It's off duty. And Larry Melanson by a neck now whips out early on Spots Gone. Early fires, goes to work. Here's Junior College poised right there, 3 wide and moving up steadily now. Cognac Kisses racing fourth by 2. Monkey Hill set down to a full-out drive and trying to re-rally now. Funky Pirates up the inside, a driving Small Town Slew, and Greater Good at the back of the top of the lane. 44 2 for the half, and Junior College sweeps on by to take the lead as they straighten away. Off duty, not done and kicking back. Off duty, retaking the lead on the inside. Junior College trying to kick back on him. Funky Pirate gaining good ground the final 16th. It's off duty clear. Funky Pirate flying, running out of ground. Off duty, and Larry Melanson winning the Don Bernhard by a length on the line. Funky Pirate, then Junior College tight for fourth. The running time 1:15 2/5.
Off duty, a nice front-end victory, facing a number of challenges, including a very strong effort by Junior College, who made a solid run at the top of the stretch, but off duty was able to kick clear by a length from the late-charging Funky Pirate, one of my favorite horses in Kentucky. This guy goes back and forth between lower and mid-level claiming company and stakes company, and always seems to manage to run a big race, often at a price here at almost 27 to 1. Completes the exacta with Junior College, taking that solid run at the top, at the eventual winner at the top of the stretch, and settling for third as the favorite. Off duty, a bay colt, a son of Yes It's True, from Ms. North Carolina by Honor and Glory, was bred in Florida by Helen Marie Napolitano. Owned by John Puchek, Brett Setzer, and Robert Edwards, trained by Lynn Whiting and ridden to victory by Larry Melanson. Off duty covers the 6.5 furlongs at Ellis in 1:15 2. We're going to head north of the border now for a trio of stakes races this weekend at Woodbine, going back to last Saturday in the $125,000 Colin for 2-year-olds. Let's head to Woodbine and the Colin.
They're at the post. They're off in the Colin Stakes, and Dancing All-Star broke running. She immediately takes the lead. Bear Holiday is second. Senora is third. In between horses is Energy Center. To his outside, Pizza Lovers coming on. Then a Mighty Vow and O'Gaijin Storm. And loose on the lead is Dancing All-Star. Cable has her in front by 2.5 lengths. Dancing All-Stars ripped off a quarter in 22-1. And it's Dancing All-Star playing Catch Me If You Can. Long stride. She opens up 4.5 lengths. Senor is second, Pizza Lover third, Bear Holiday fourth. Between horses, Mighty Vow. To Mighty Vow's outside, Energy Center. To the inside, O'Gaijin Storm. Dancing All-Star just got a half in 44-4. And Cable is frozen on her. And it's Dancing All-Star in the final furlong. Bear Holiday trying to make a race of it on the outside. Final 16th of a mile, Dancing All-Star. Bear Holiday coming on. Dancing All-Star on the inside. Bear Holiday, picture time in the Colin. On the inside, Dancing All-Star. On the outside, Bear Holiday. Mighty Vow was third.
This is the first stakes winner from the young stallion Harlan's Holiday, and congratulations to all involved. A very nice effort by a nose as the second choice in the wagering over the favored Dancing All-Star, with Mighty Vow rallying well to finish third after a difficult start. The winner, Bear Holiday, is a Gray-Aroan 2-year-old colt, a son of Harlan's Holiday from Milagro by Maria's Mon, was bred in Kentucky by the TC Stable, owned by Bear Stables Limited and trained by Reed Baker, ridden to victory by Jerry Baird. Bear Holiday earns the first stakes credentials for young sire Harlan's Holiday, going to 6 furlongs in 1:11 flat. We're going to head right back to Canada now in a pair of stakes from Sunday, beginning with the Grade 2 Dance Smartly for older fillies and mares on the grass. We'll return to Woodbine and Sunday's Dance Smartly.
They're at the post. They're off in the Dance Smartly Stakes. Masusa broke well from the outside, as did Scarlet Butterfly. Then Essential Edge out of Vale is angled over toward the hedge. El Runaway second to last, and Main Knight is the early trailer. And Vale comes on the inside. She puts her head down and bullies to the lead. Vale now leads it by a neck. Watched closely by Essential Edge in second. Scarlet Butterfly is in third position and 3 lengths off the lead. Then we have Masseuse in fourth. A break of 2.5 to El Runaway. El Runaway is back about 6.5 lengths off of Edavale. And May Knight is the trailer. And Jose Valdivia Jr. is rationing the speed of Edavale. Her opening quarter was in 23-4, and she got a half in 47-2. And Canada's Horse of the Year from last year, Edavale, leads Essential Edge by a neck with less than a half mile remaining. Scarlet Butterflies out of trouble on the outside. Third, Masseuse will need a way out for Edgar Prado as they come to the 3/8 pole. Then El Runaway and May Knight, and they come over to the top of the stretch. It is still Edavale as they turn for home. Essential Edge continues to hound Edavale as they come to the quarter pole. Edavale set down. Essential Edge comes on now and takes the lead. Edavale's empty. It's Essential Edge. Masseuse finds some racing room. Scarlet Butterfly on the far outside. May Knight has come from last. A cavalry charge to the line. Masseuse a short lead. El Runaway coming hard between horses. Masseuse, El Runaway, May Knight in a thriller. A 3-horse photo to win between Masseuse, May Knight, and El Runaway in the Dance Smartly.
Masseuse, a filly that I'm sure you're familiar with if you follow New York racing, trained by Jimmy Toner, heads north of the border to pick up a nose victory in a blanket finish over May Knight, with El Runaway back in the third spot. El Runaway making that usual solid off-the-pace bid, but could do no better than third this time. Disappointing in the field was the odds-on choice Aravale, who led early and faded late under Jose Valdivia. The winner, Masseuse, a dark bay or brown mare, a daughter of Dynaformer from Pedicure by Mr. Prospector, was bred in Kentucky by Cherry Valley Farm Limited and is owned by H.R.C. Elser and Ron and Jay Nicholson, trained by Jimmy Toner and ridden to victory by Edgar Prado. Masseuse covers the 9 furlongs on the Woodbine turf in 1:45 and 2. We're going to head right back up to Canada now, and the Grade 2 Northern Dancer Breeders' Cup for older horses going long on the turf. Let's return to Woodbine and the Northern Dancer.
They're at the post. They're off in the Northern Dancer Breeders' Cup turf, and Jambalaya broke sharply, as did French Beret. And Cable has sent French Beret to the front. Last Dancer came away running in second position, and Marsh Side will save ground. To the inside, third Jambalaya is taken in hand in fourth position. Then we have Pellegrino in fifth and Sky Conqueror. The Carbon unit is down toward the rail, and Obrigado is the early trailer. And they head up toward the backstretch, and showing the way is French Beret. French Beret leads it by 2. Last year's pace setter in the Northern Dancer, Last Dancer, is in a second position, and Marsh Side is third, back 3 lengths off the lead. Jambalaya is fourth, and Pellegrino is fifth. Pellegrino has 6 to make up. The opening quarter was in 25 and 2. The half was in 50 and 3, and French Beret is setting the pace. Last Dancer getting closer on the outside in second, just a length behind now. There's a break of 2.5 to Marsh Side. Jambalaya is alongside of Marsh Side. Pellegrino is fifth and 5 lengths off the lead. Then the Carbon unit, a reserved Sky Conqueror, has Obrigado beaten as they head along the backstretch through 3/4 in 1:14 and 3. And French Beret is shadowed by Last Dancer as they head toward the far turn. French Beret by just ahead. Last Dancer comes on the outside, and those two are nose and nose now. Jambalaya moves a closer third for Javier Castellano. Marsh Side travels well to the inside fourth. Pellegrino's in a drive as they come to the 3/8 pull. Then the Carbon unit. Sky Conqueror back about 5.5 lengths off the lead, and it's Last Dancer as they come over to the top of the stretch. French Beret trying to find some more. Jambalaya's close enough if he's got enough, and they hit the quarter pole. Last Dancer in an all-out drive. Jambalaya, and Sky Conqueror begins to unwind. It's Jambalaya and Sky Conqueror now. The 2 Grade 1 winners throw it down, and Sky Conqueror comes away with the lead. They're in the final 16th, and it's Sky Conqueror roaring to victory in the Northern Dancer Breeders' Cup turf, defeating Marsh Side, and Jambalaya was third.
Sky Conqueror, this guy has really done next to nothing wrong over the course of the last year or so. He seems to keep moving from strength to strength. Here as the favorite, rallies from off the pace with a huge bid to win by 1.5 lengths over Marsh Side, with Jambalaya, who perhaps is a little bit better, going just a little bit shorter, getting the third spot. The winner, Sky Conqueror, a chestnut son of Sky Classic from Heavenly Ballerina by Conquistador Cielo, was bred in Ontario by William Sir Auckland and is owned by the breeder, trained by Darwin Bannock, and ridden to victory by Edgar Prado at a very profitable Sunday afternoon in Canada. Sky Conqueror covers the 1.5 miles on the Woodbine turf course in 2:27 and 2. We're going to pause for one more brief message, and when we return, we'll be taking a look at the stakes from the opening weekend at Del Mar and then returning to New York. Please stay with us. Welcome back to Horses and Courses. We're going to continue now at Del Mar, where they have opened their summer boutique meet in Southern California. We're going to begin with Saturday's running of the San Diego Handicap, a Grade 2. Again, the local prep for the Pacific Classic. Let's head to Southern California and the San Diego.
And away they go. Come On Tiger broke away well. Arson Squad from the inside. Buzzards Bay not sharp out the gate, but now going up to be second. Raise the Bluff is right there too, and Soul City Slew inside of that. Awesome Gem is only 4 lengths off these leaders. Heat Seekers on the outside of that. Then we drop back to Salty Humor, second last and 8 lengths off these leaders. And at the back we have Sunboat. 3/4 of a mile to go, and now Buzzards Bay has assumed command and just loping along easily out here. Buzzards Bay, ears pricked, is on long range, just enjoying himself. In the second spot has Come On Tiger, been followed in by Raise the Bluff in third. Heat Seeker on the outside fourth, then comes Awesome Gem. We come back to Soul City Slew. Arson Squad is giving the leaders 7 length start. Salty Humor's alongside of him, and Sunboat has 10 lengths to make up. They go past the half-mile pole, and Buzzards Bay, no competition at all at this stage, is just bowling along in front. In the second spot is Come On Tiger. Just behind that comes Raise the Bluff down at the rail. Then a gap of 3 lengths back to Awesome Gem, Salty Humor. Arson Squad is 9 off the leaders. Then Soul City Slew, and at the back is Sunboat. They come into the quarter pole, and Buzzards Bay the leader. Heat Seeker comes to take him on now. Buzzards Bay's got to quicken again. Heat Seeker's gone up. Come On Tiger now. 3 of them in a line out here. Raise the Bluff is back in the 4th spot. Awesome Gem, Salty Humor running a big one. Homeward bound, Buzzards Bay's in deep order at the rail now. Arson Squad coming, looking 7 in a line out here. Here's Sunboat from last, and Sunboat from last to first is flying. Awesome Gem, Salty Humor, a huge run, but it's Sunboat in full flight for the wire, and Sunboat and Michael Bays have won the San Diego Handicap to Awesome Gem, Salty Humor, and Raise the Bluff. Then came Heat Seeker, Arson Squad, back to Soul City Slew. Buzzards Bay disappointed, and Come On Tiger was last.
Sunboat, you may remember him from his days with Owen Hardy. Raced a little bit in New York, headed out to the West Coast. Really never quite lived up to expectations, and was claimed several races back by Mike Mitchell, who has really developed quite an eye for claiming horses that are going to move well onto the poly track and synthetic surfaces. They've got the all-weather track now at Del Mar, and a horse like Sunboat, who improved with a big effort last time out in the Californian, moves forward once again at 6.5 to 1 to pick up a length victory over Awesome Gem, with Salty Humor back in the 3rd spot with a huge rallying move at nearly 40 to 1. Disappointing in the field, the early pacemaker, Buzzards Bay, who did pick up that win in the Californian over Sunboat, not able to transfer his form down to the Del Mar surface on the poly track. Unfortunately, not quite as sharp as he was on the Hollywood cushion track last time out. The winner, Sunboat, is a bay gelding, a son of Machiavellian from One So Wonderful by Nashwan, was bred in Great Britain by the Meehan Valley Stud and is owned by Bongo Racing Stable. Cap'n and Tosvold, trained by Mike Mitchell, ridden to victory by Michael Bays. Sunboat covers the mile and a 16th in 1:45 and 1. We're going to head back down to Del Mar now and head down to the turf course for Sunday's running of the Grade 1 mile and an 1/8 Eddie Read. Let's return to Southern California and the call of the Eddie Read.
All set now for the Grade 1 Eddie Read Handicap. Field sent on their way. Aftermarket from the outside gate is quick into stride. Atlando's going along with him. Rob Roy in the red colors right there. Inside of that, we have Fast and Furious now going through on the inside to join the leaders. They coming past the stands first time round now. On the inside, Out of Control, up alongside Rob Roy. Aftermarket just behind them. Then Atlanto and Fast and Furious now taking 9 lengths off the leaders. Past the 7/8 they go, and Rob Roy has the lead. Out of Control on his inside. Not in any hurry out here, just setting a steady pace. They lead just over a length. The favourite Aftermarket just tracking comfortably in 3rd. Then a big gap of 7 back to Atlando and Fast and Furious. No change. They've covered now 3/4 of a mile left to go. On the inside, we have Out of Control. Up alongside Rob Roy, Aftermarket's taken a nice hold though, and he's very comfortable in the 3rd spot there. They've now cleared off a big 8 lengths in front of Atlando, and outside of him is Fast and Furious. They go past the half mile into Eddie Reed, and Rob Roy on the outside, still in control, out of control now, coming through on the inside. Those two back, nose and nose. A length and a half to Aftermarket. A big gap of 9 back to Adlando and Fast and Furious. Into the turn they go, and out of control. Goes on smartly on the lead. Out of control on the outside, Rob Roy. Aftermarket has to come after them now. 7 back to Fast and Furious and Adlando. Homeward bound in the Eddie Reed, and out of control. The one to catch, he's finding more. Out of control, Rob Roy. Aftermarket now putting in his run down the centre. On the inside, out of control, Aftermarket. The two favourites disputing the Eddie Reed. Aftermarket's taken off late though, and Aftermarket's gone right on by out of control. And the son of Stormcat, super impressive in the Eddie Reed. Aftermarket out of control. Rob Roy was third.
Aftermarket, this guy has really continued a very serious rally this year. Last year began his career with several consecutive victories, including stakes, went into a little bit difficult, more difficult company, and unfortunately wasn't quite able to live up to expectations, may have had a setback or two, was transferred to the West Coast operation of his owners, the Wygods, in John Sheriff's barn from Bill Mott, and has really thrived this year. Won last time out at a route going on the turf in the Whittingham. Now drops back a bit in distance to a middle distance in the 1 1/8 Eddie Reed. Picks up yet another Grade 1 victory, this time by a length and a half over Out of Control, who'd pulled up an upset last time out against the Tin Man. Rob Roy, who came to this country last year for the Breeders' Cup Mile, completes the order of the top 3. Aftermarket is a dark bay or brown 4-year-old son of Stormcat from Tranquility Lake by Rahi. Bred in Kentucky by Mr. and Mrs. Martin Wygod and owned by the breeders, trained by John Sheriffs and ridden to victory by Alex Solis. Aftermarket covers the 9 furlongs on the Del Mar turf in 1:47 and 1. We're going to return home to New York, and before we head to the closing weekend stakes action at Belmont, we'll stop at Finger Lakes and take a look at Sunday afternoon's running of the Ontario County for New York State Breds. Let's head to the lakes and the Ontario County.
The last horse, number Mr. Nice Guy, moving in. They're off in the Ontario County Stakes. Noma Mr. Nice Guy on the outside, breaks on top, in the middle. Indian Camp going right up after the lead, and full of run. Grand Reefer surges up to take over, moves off 3 parts of a length. Indian Camp is second. There's the gap of 2.5 lengths. Noma Mr. Nice Guy third. In between horses, Tomorrow the World is fourth, and along on the rail, Pegasus Jet, and on the outside, Smash 'em Sammy. The quarter, 22 and 2, and they make the way around the turn. Grand Reefer maintaining the lead by a length and a half. Track 5, Indian Camp in second. There's better than 4 lengths back. On the outside, Smashin' Sammy has rushed up into third. Tomorrow the World is in on the rail fourth. 2 back to No More Mr. Nice Guy, and trailing the field, Pegasus Jet. Half 45 and 2, and they come toward the top of the stretch. And Grand Reefer shows the way in the Ontario County Stakes, has it by better than 2.5 lengths. Indian Camp is second. Smash 'em Sammy on the outside third, to the wire. Much the best, Grand Reefer galloping on home by almost 3. Indian Camp second, Smash 'em Sammy third.
Grand Refer picking up the victory here as the favorite by 3 1/4 lengths on the front end every step of the way over the speedy Indian Camp, with the late charging Smash 'em Sammy, who probably would have benefited a little bit more if the top 2 had gotten into more of a duel early. Smash 'em Sammy in from New York for the Schwartz operation to finish third. The winner, Grand Refer, is a chestnut colt, a son of Grand Slam from Val's Jazz by Kentucky Jazz, bred in New York by Gibraltar Group Limited, owned by Jim Bakke and Jerry Isbister, trained by Bruce Levine and ridden to victory by Pedro Rodriguez. Grand Refer covers the 6 furlongs at Finger Lakes in 1:10 and 1. We're going to head down to Belmont now for the closing weekend's racing action at Belmont Park, beginning with Saturday's running of the Grade 1 $300,000 Coaching Club American Oaks.
They are in the gate. And they're off. And it's Humble Janet racing for the early lead, and Folk is there on the far outside, and Folk races to the front as they round the first turn. And it is a pumped-up Folk who takes charge after the opening furlong. On the inside, is Humble Janet running in second, and Octave right alongside her. 2.5 lengths back, Lear's Princess runs in fourth. Rosie's Attitude is fifth, Koi Coyote sixth. 5 lengths back to Wow Me Free, the trailer. So Folk gets that opening quarter in 23 and 4/5 seconds. And Octave won't let her get away down that backstretch. Octave is just a length behind the front runner here. Just in behind, Humble Janet runs along in third as Mike Luzzy tries to slow it down here down the backstretch run. And Folk is running very comfortably here. Octave sitting chilly while second. Humble Janet third. Here's the opening half-mile time. Very sensible indeed. 48 seconds flat, so the pace is not particularly fast. The free-running Folk is out there now by a length and 3/4. Octave, the favorite, runs in second. Humble Janet between horses third. On the inside, Koi Coyote. On the outside, there goes Lear's Princess now, who makes a move just as they hit the far turn. Rounding the far turn now. There's a half-mile remaining. And it is still Folk the leader, shadowed by Octave the entire way. Lear's Princess on the outside third. Humble Janet is fourth after 3/4 and 12 and 1. Farther back in the field, Koi Coyote, Rosie's Attitude, and Wow Me Free. They're approaching the top of the stretch. Folk bracing for that challenge to come from Octave. And Lear's Princess joins them on the outside third. And the field turns for home in the Coaching Club American Oaks as Folk digs down. Octave to the attack. Lear's Princess third. There's 1 furlong remaining now. And Octave has wrested the lead away from Folk. It's Octave by a neck. Folk fights on. Lear's Princess third. Down to the finish. Octave driving to the line. A surge from Lear's Princess. And Octave has won. Octave has won by a diminishing half length over the hard-charging Lear's Princess. Farther back, Folk was third. The final time was 2:02 flat.
Octave picking up her second consecutive Grade 1 victory, and she looked a little bit maybe like a filly with a bit of seconditis. I don't think it was a case of seconditis. I think it's just a case of she was not quite as good as the winner on those particular days. But remember, who was she finishing second to? She ran second in the Grade 1 Kentucky Oaks. She ran second last year in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile fillies. I mean, this is a very, very high-quality filly. Here gets the win over the late-charging but somewhat erratic in the stretch Lear's Princess and the very aggressive early Folk. Octave, coming in off of her win last time out in the Mother Goose, wins 3/4 of what used to be known as the Triple Crown for fillies, or the Triple Tiara for fillies in New York, with this odds-on victory. The winner, Octave, a Grayer Roan daughter of Unbridled Song from Belle Nuit by Dr. Carter, was bred in Kentucky by Mr. and Mrs. Martin Wygott, who obviously had a great weekend in terms of their breeding success. Owned by Starlight Stable and Don Lucarelli. A lot of local connections there. Congratulations to all involved. Trained by Todd Pletcher and ridden to victory by John Velasquez, Octave covers the 1.25 miles at Belmont in 2:02 flat. One more race for the spring season at Belmont Park. Here on Horses and Courses, that the Evan Shipman for New York State Breds older horses. Let's head back to Belmont once more in the call of the Evan Shipman.
And they're off. And Account for the Goal broke well from that inside post position. Organizer is up there in the early part, and Organizer goes on with it to take the lead as they cross over to the main track. Organizer in front a little more than a length. Account for the Gold at the rail. Who What Win on the outside. Building New Era is racing in fourth, and it's a gap of 4 to the 2 trailers, Shuffling Madness and Naughty New Yorker. Account for the Gold now right alongside of Organizer. The opening quarter in 23 and 3/5 seconds. And the big favorite, Account for the Gold, is in front now by a little more than a length. Organizer second by a length and a half. With the gray, Building New Era in third by a half length. Who What Win is in fourth. Naughty New Yorker moves up a spot at the rail. Shuffling Madness is the trailer. The half mile in 46 and 1/5 seconds, and they round the far turn, and it's Account for the Gold leading by a length. Organizer in second. Building New Era runs in third. Then Naughty New Yorker, Who What Win, and Shuffling Madness. Account for the Gold in front as they head for the top of the stretch. It's Account for the Gold by 3/4 of a length. Organizer in between horses. On the outside is Building New Era. 3/4 went in 1:10, and now they're in the stretch. And it's Account for the Gold in front here. Account for the Gold by a length and a half. On the far outside is Shuffling Madness. Shuffling Madness is gaining ground on account for the goal. They're inside the 16th pole, and Shuffling Madness has taken over, and it's going to be a huge upset here. Shuffling Madness at 24-1 to win the Evan Shipman. Account for the Gold was second, then Organizer.
Shuffling Madness, a little bit of an upset. Not a lot of upsets this weekend here on Horses and Courses, but this one at $50 was the one of the upsets this time. Rallies from well back off the pace. Looked like this race was Account for the Gold's to win or lose when he got to the lead near the top of the stretch. But Shuffling Madness, under a persevering ride by Cornelio Velasquez, draws clear by 3 1/4 lengths at a big price over Account for the Gold, with Organizer, the early pace setter, holding on for third. The winner, Shuffling Madness, a bay colt, a son of Real Quiet from Splashing Fancy by Buck Splasher, was bred in New York by Joe Gioia, owned by Trinacria, USA Stable, and trained by Del Carroll. Ridden to victory by Cornelio Velasquez, Shuffling Madness covers the 1 1/16 at Belmont in 1:41 and 2. That'll wrap up this edition of Horses and Courses. Thank you very much for joining us this week. We hope you'll be able to join us again next week as we take a look at stakes racing action from around the country. And of course, that opening week's great racing at Saratoga. Thanks for joining us. I'm Jean Wood. We'll see you back here next time.